Hello everyone, my name is Shkurt Baigora and I'm a PhD candidate in University of Pristina and University of Ljubljana, and today I'm going to be talking more about my research in integrating artificial intelligence into higher education. Um, by integrating it, there's a lot of advantages and disadvantages. So here I'm going to be talking about transforming education while navigating all these ethical, technical, and socioeconomic barriers. Um, so during this presentation, I'm going to be talking how AI is transforming higher education, what are the opportunities like personalized learning, automation, research enhancement, but what are also the challenges, ethics, data privacy, infrastructure, and the whole aim is to explore more in depth the impact and challenges of AI in higher education. So what is the current state? We can see AI applications in a lot of higher education institutions, which ranges from adaptive learning platforms to administrative tools. Studies also show that AI can enhance learning experiences and streamline these institutional operations. However, the adoption rate vary significantly across regions and institutions, since AI is being used for various purposes, such as predictive analysis, to forecast student performance, chatbots for administrative support, and intelligent tutoring systems. Despite its growing presence, the extent of AI's integration into curricula and its acceptance among faculty and students remain uneven. So, this disparity can also be attributed to factors such as institutional readiness, faculty expertise, and also resource availability. Um, with the recent development of AI, its characteristics attract people's attention, and many people have begun using artificial intelligence in their work and daily lives. But in this parallel, it has been increasingly integrated into all levels of education to improve teaching and learning processes. Scholars have focused more on examining the potential effects and of the use of AI on instruction and activities and applications based on AI algorithms have been designed and implemented to increase the personalized and interactive learning experiences. Previous research that was done, the results of them have suggested that these activities and applications um, have contributed to increasing these learning outcomes, and the positive results of using AI in educational research have helped to understand the importance of AI more in depth for student learning in higher education. As I mentioned, I'm from the University of Pristina, Kosovo, and I want to talk more about Kosovo and the Kosovo context. The integration of AI in higher education institutions in Kosovo presents several challenges that need to be addressed to ensure the effective and equitable use of these technologies. Key challenges include the lack of infrastructure, ethical concerns, data privacy issues, limited digital literacy, and resistance to change among stakeholders. So, one of the primary challenges facing higher education institutions in Kosovo is the inadequate or limited infrastructure to support AI implementation. Many institutions also lack the necessary technological resources, such as high-speed internet, advanced computing systems, and access to large data sets, which are essential for deploying AI applications. But AI in education also raises significant ethical concerns, particularly regarding fairness, regarding transparency, and accountability. Here in Kosovo, there is a lack of established ethical frameworks to guide the deployment of AI in higher education institutions. This can also lead to issues such as algorithmic bias, where AI systems can unintentionally favor certain groups over others, or exacerbating existing inequalities. Additionally, the absence of clear accountability mechanisms possesses risks related to the misuse of these AI technologies. So, the use of AI involves the collection and processing of vast amounts of the student data, And ensuring the privacy and then the security of this data is also a significant challenge, where data protection regulations are still evolving. Therefore, it is very crucial to establish more data privacy protocols and to protect students' personal information. Um, Another challenge is also what I mentioned, that is the digital literacy among both students and faculty members. Many educators in Kosovo are not adequately trained to use AI tools effectively, which also hinders the integration of these technologies into teaching and learning processes. Enhancing digital literacy through targeted training programs is also very essential to maximize the potential of AI in education. But the resistance to change is a common barrier, especially when it comes to AI in higher education institutions. In Kosovo, there may be a skepticism among stakeholders regarding the benefits of AI, fueled by a lack of understanding and fear of job displacement. So, overcoming this resistance requires effective communication of the advantages of AI and involving stakeholders in a decision-making process to foster a sense of ownership and acceptance. Um, Additionally, there's a study focusing on digital transformation readiness of higher education institutions in Kosovo, which also reveals that while there is a growing interest in adopting digital tools, significant gaps remain in infrastructure and faculty training. So they suggest that addressing these gaps is first crucial for the successful implementation of AI in higher education. I did this literature review by mainly working on this theoretical framework, which is the constructivist learning. Constructivist theory of learning, like as a dominant educational philosophy, constructivism significantly influences all the modern learning and teaching processes. So we can trace the origins of constructivism very early on, and there's essential components of constructivism learning theory that are the definition of learning and the approach to learning. So these elements should be more integrated into an optimal learning environment for students. And according to constructivism, learning is a dynamic process of knowledge construction shaped by students' needs, learning materials, tools, and the overall learning environment. So academics play a leading role in the teaching process by addressing students' needs, by providing relevant learning materials, and offering helpful tools. This theory emphasizes autonomous and active learning, while traditional teaching focuses on the passive acceptance of knowledge imparted by academics. Um, while we're talking about the theory, there's a little bit of trying to integrate the AI into these theories that have been for a lot of years and on which education is based on. So there's a lot of trying to find the benefits of artificial intelligence in higher education, which we can say that it's an intelligent technology and it's a method which uses knowledge to achieve concrete purpose and efficiency. But there are a lot of intelligent technologies like machine learning, like semantic and knowledge grid, like autonomic computing, cognitive informatics, and the prompt advances in these fields have already brought substantial changes in education, like opening up new opportunities and challenges to teach and learn anytime and anywhere by providing these new methods and systems that aim to stimulate innovative teaching and ultimately improve learning outcomes. The advantages of artificial intelligence application in education are vary a lot, and everything can be considered to be beneficial if we are thinking of, for example, a computer program that can efficiently perform any task that would normally rely on intelligence of a human. But these advantages, as I said, they include more of a personalized learning, automated grading, and enhanced accessibility for students with disabilities. So these analytics provide insights into student performance, like enabling early intervention and tailored support. Personalized learning through AI allows for the customization of educational content to meet individual learning paces and styles. And AI technologies like speech recognition and text to speech can support students with disabilities while promoting inclusivity and equal access to educational the resources. But what are the challenges? Like I said, despite its potential, AI's integration into higher education faces several challenges. These challenges are multifaceted, encompassing ethical, technical, socioeconomic dimensions. The rapid pace of AI development often outstrips the ability of educational institutions to adapt, leading to gaps in implementation and understanding. Additionally, there's a significant need for policy frameworks that address the unique challenges posed by AI in education, such as intellectual property rights, the digital divide, and the ethical use of student data. There are several approaches to planning and organizing the implementation of AI methods in the education domain, but there's still a lot of discussion about the essential challenges for decision makers. The list of potential challenges that influence the implementation of these intelligent technologies mainly concern um, strategy refers to a general plan of implementation to achieve one or more specific long-term goals accordingly to a schedule established and agreed with all these interested stakeholders. But what's more interesting for us is to build trust in the technology that higher education institutions can utilize, for example, ChatGPT in conjunction with human instructors to provide feedback to students, therefore ensuring accurate and credible feedback and reducing the spread of false information. We know that copyright concerns can arise as ChatGPT may have trained from and provided similar answers to content under copyright protection, but higher education institutions must consider these copyright issues in their policies to mitigate the issue and ensure that, for example, ChatGPT does not infringe on copyright laws. Um, when we're talking about the protection and the data and the concerns, we also have the ethical concerns that we have to keep in mind because AI systems are susceptible to bias. And while reflecting the data they are trained on. So, in educational context, biased AI can perpetuate existing inequalities and disadvantage certain student groups. And addressing this bias requires a lot of meticulous data handling and transparent algorithmic processes. So, ensuring fairness in AI requires diverse training and more inclusive design processes that actively seek to mitigate this bias. The use of AI in education, it also necessitates the collection and analysis of vast amounts of student data, which is all the time mentioned because it's one of the most potential risks or concerns about ethical use of AI in higher education. And also, there's the increasing reliance on AI, which may undermine the autonomy of educators and students. Concerns arise about the diminishing role of human judgment in teaching and learning processes, and the delegation of educational tasks to AI can lead to a reduction in critical thinking and decision-making opportunities for students. And also, the educators may feel a loss of professional autonomy as AI-driven recommendations and assessments override their expertise. Um, when we're talking about technical challenges, we can say that there's a requirement for substantial infrastructure and financial investment. But many institutions, particularly in developing regions, struggle with these limited resources, which hinders AI adaptation. And there's also the lack of training, which has to be done, and then AI literacy and the compatibility with all the existing educational systems. There's also the socioeconomic challenges, which we can say the digital divide still remains a pressing issue because there's disparities in access to technology, and this can exacerbate the educational inequalities, with AI potentially widening this gap between, let's say, advantaged and disadvantaged students. There's students from low income backgrounds, which may lack access to necessary devices or maybe internet connectivity, and limiting their ability to benefit from AI enhanced learning. And there's also a few case studies from various institutions that they have implemented AI in their educational practices, and they highlight both the successes and challenges that they encountered, which providing real world insights into AI's impact on higher education. And there's more of a AI-driven learning management system that revealed improvements in student engagement and academic performance, but also it highlighted the challenges related to data privacy and the need for continuous system updates. There's a lot of case studies that a lot of universities, institutions that have started implementing it, just piloting it and seeing where it can be used and where not. But this is still a work in progress for a lot of the countries. Um, a few recommendations about integrating AI in higher education institutions, but mainly it needs to have guidelines, ethical guidelines, and policy frameworks, governance. There needs to be more strengthening of data security, and there needs to be more privacy measures. It also it enhances the digital literacy, and we need AI training for faculty members. And it encourages interdisciplinary and academia industry collaborations. As I said before, there's the decision-making process, the stakeholders, they need to be a part from the beginning so that no one feels that AI is taking their jobs or they're not informed in what's happening around them. In conclusion, we know that integrating AI in higher education, it presents these opportunities and challenges. And these technological advances, while including AI in higher education, have driven a lot of research into how artificial intelligence can enhance teaching and learning processes. But the use of AI in higher education has become an increasingly important topic in higher education. And it holds a lot of potential, but it also requires responsible implementation. And there needs to be more collaboration between stakeholders and the future research that is done. Considering this, they should prioritize equitable and transparent AI systems. By addressing these ethical, technical, and socioeconomic issues that I mentioned, institutions can leverage the AI to enhance educational outcomes. And if we focus on developing these equitable and transparent AI systems that prioritize student welfare and institutional integrity, there can be more good done in this matter. But continuous dialogue between stakeholders and including here educators, students, policymakers is essential to create an AI enhanced educational environment that is both inclusive and ethical and also effective. Thank you very much. This presentation will be shared by video, so if there's any questions or you want to talk more about this subject, please feel free to write an email to this email that you see before you. Thank you very much.